Good day, dear students. I am Dr. A. Sairam, MCom, MPhil, PhD, UGC, NET and Commerce, MBA, Post-Graduation Diploma in Financial Management and ICAA Final. Welcome to my channel, Professor Guru Kalvi. This is a channel where you can find notes related to commerce subjects. In today's video, we will be looking at post-graduation level corporate accounting. We start with the issue of shares. Dear students, in your undergraduate, you would have studied issue of shares, of issuing shares to general public, where you have receipt of share application, allotment of shares, first call, second and final call. Then you have forfeiture of shares and reissue of shares. So these particular topics would have been discussed in your UG class. In PG level, we will be looking at issue of shares under employee stock option scheme. Then we have SWET equity. So these kind of topics will be dealt with. Let us now get into the topic. So unit 1, issue of shares and final accounts of company. Issue of shares, employee stock option scheme plans. Then you have employee stock purchase schemes, sweat equity share schemes, book building process, buyback of shares, conversion of debentures into shares, final accounts of company as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013, then managerial remuneration. Dear students, as far as this unit is concerned, it holds much importance in terms of the question paper, where you can expect a minimum of 2 part A questions, 1 part B question and 1 part C question. So it is very essential that we concentrate on this particular unit for your exam. So first is employee stock option plan. Employee stock option plan is a scheme under which a company gives its employee the option to buy shares of the company at a price determined after a certain period of time, which is called as vesting period. Employee stock option plan is used to motivate the employees, reward their performance, retain the employees, and give the employees an option to become the owner of the company. The very important feature of employee stock option plan is that the employees are given the shares at a fixed price, which will be much lesser than the market price, and at the same time there is a very interesting clause that is involved with the employee stock option plan, which is of vesting period, where the employee should work in the organization for a specific period of time to execute his option. So employee stock option scheme helps the company to retain the employees, to retain the talent, where the labor turnover is one of the biggest problem in industries like information technology and IT enabled services. So this employee stock option scheme proves to be a very useful motivational technique to retain their employees. How does ESOP work? The company grants, say for example, 1000 options at rupees 50 each, where the vesting, they say the employee should work for 3 years to get the option to be executed. So after 3 years, employee decides to buy the shares at an excise price of 50, which was offered earlier, but the original market price would be 150. Then finally issue of shares happen, where the company issues the shares at the excise price. So this is the step-by-step process where the employee stock option plan is executed. Now the question arises whether this employee stock option plan is an expense, or on the other way around looking at it, it is an source of investment, from where I can get the investment to the organization. But looking at from the point of view of an expense, the following points holds testimonial to it. Just like salary or bonus, employee stock option plan is a motivational technique. It is a part of the compensation that is offered to the employee. Accordingly, following the principle of cost of service must be recognized irrespective of how payment is made. When options are granted at a price below the market price, the company is foregoing certain loss. It is incurring certain loss. This foregone value is the real cost, even though no cash is involved. See, in the previous example, as we saw, the market price was 150, but it was exercised at 50. The opportunity cost that was involved was 100. Once again, it is kind of a cost for the organization, is it not? Now we come to employee stock purchase scheme. Employee stock purchase scheme is a scheme where the company offers shares to employees at a discounted price, unlike employee stock option scheme. In case of ESPS, direct purchase of shares is offered to the employee. There is no vesting period involved as far as ESPS is concerned. Employee buy shares immediately. They need not wait for the time. Company may give discount on the shares. The shares are usually issued through payroll deduction, used to recognize employees' ownership. So it recognizes the employee as a owner. Now we come to SWET equity. As far as SWET equity is concerned, it is offered to employees on the higher level, upper chain of the ladder chain. I'd say like a managing director or a senior manager kind of. It encourages for their expertise, know-how and value addition that they bring to the organization. This particular SWET equity share offer is in exchange of the expertise that the employee is bringing into the organization, his experience, the kind of know-how that he has, and the value that he adds, as compensation for providing intellectual property rights, usually issued at a discount or for a consideration other than cash. Normally SWET equity are issued for consideration other than cash. Some of the key factors: gives the employee director a reward for the post or the past and present work that they are doing for the organization. The next one, do not involve payment. It recognized under Companies Act 2013. It helps to retain the employees. So these are some of its features. So dear students, SWET equity is basically issued for other than cash, number one. Number two, it is in exchange of the expertise or the know-how or the intellectual property that he possesses. The following are some of its difference, meaning. As far as SWET equity is concerned, shares to employees or directors for value added or know-how that they have. Employee stock option scheme, it is an option that is given to the employee which will be executed after the vesting period. Nature, the actual shares are issued immediately. Only rights are given in case of stock option. Vesting period, there is no such vesting period as far as SWET equity is concerned. In case of stock option, SWET equity is very much essential. Consideration, in case of SWET equity, there is no consideration as cash, but in case of option scheme, the payment will be made at the exercise price that was determined when the option was offered. And finally, the purpose to reward the know-how or the expertise that the employee have. In case of option, it is mainly for retaining the employees in certain industry where the turnover is pretty high. So thank you, students. These are some of the small introduction about stock option schemes, stock purchase schemes, SWET equity. So do go through the detailed notes of these particular topics and